Shout out to everybody. Let's talk about what's going on. So Joe Biden goes ahead and he pardons Hunter Biden, even though he said that he's not going to step in. And, you know, let's see what people are saying. Let's listen to Fox News. Shout out to everybody.
President Biden is expected to issue a pardon for his son, Hunter.
Shocking.
Yes, Biden said on multiple occasions that he would not pardon his son, or he whispered it, or commute his sentence. The pardon comes ahead of Hunter's December 12th.
What do y'all think about that, though? And this is, what's up, Froggy, Megsy? I see you in there. What do y'all think about this? Like, Biden said nobody is above the law, right? And he goes ahead and he pardons his son. I see some people are like, well, that's his son. He's going to pardon him. But when you look at what, you know, Hunter is being accused of, it's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Like, he lied about his use of his drug use, like when getting a firearm, like all of this different situation. I don't know, man. And then, you know, he's suspected of, you know what I mean, bringing a white girl to the White House, all of this, but that's not what he being charged with. But it's like all of these different things he's been in, like maybe jail time would be good for him. I feel like, I don't know, y'all tell me what y'all think, but some people feel like y'all want us to go ahead and try to follow the law, but then like y'all are clearly showing the law is only for the pawns of the system, which is the people, you know, because when it comes to y'all, you can do whatever you want to do, you know. So I don't know, man. Like, what y'all think about it?
Sentencing for his conviction.
Dre said that's some BS. Yeah, man. What's up, Mafioso? I see you in here. Craig Wilson said, we back at it again. Let's get it. Shout out to you. Mr. Ism said, it's the privileged man. Dre said, it's a big FU to the American people. It is, bro. That's how I feel about it. Richard Mitchell is another member. I appreciate you. He says, sup, bro? They're all liars. I cannot believe this, bro. This is insane. This is if he never would have said, I'm not going to step in and do anything about it, I'm going to let the law works. Okay. But if he would have said in the beginning, like, all right, so they coming at, you know, my son because they don't like me or whatever, then I would be looking at it differently. But I don't know, man. Like the rollout for this is literally crazy.
On federal gun charges. Hunter is also set to be sentenced on tax evasion charges December 16th. None of that's going to happen. Lisa, what do you think of that?
You know, I think he's corrupt. We all knew that.
He's supposed to be sentenced on tax evasion charges. I like how he said none of that's going to happen. Wait, we got to pay taxes? He don't have to pay taxes? He can have backdoor deals with Russia, do it, or what all these different companies do, whatever he want to do. But he ain't got to pay taxes either. This is crazy, bro. And y'all expect us to be following the rule of law. And Hunter Biden, y'all got to think, he living like a rock star right now. He doing anything and everything he want to do. Paying for girls, doing everything. Like Diddy ain't do halfway near what he been doing. And look where they got Diddy at. Diddy got 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which is crazy. That is a lot of baby oil. Thug life it is. What did Diddy do that's different than Hunter Biden? Y'all tell me down in the comment section below. Let me know. What did Diddy do that is different than Hunter Biden? Diddy not even being accused of tax evasion. They ain't even being accused of that. He's been paying his taxes. Hunter Biden, yo, this is insane, bro. They've got open books on what's been going on with Hunter Biden on Twitter, and it's crazy. You know what I mean? I can't show what they doing on Twitter on here, like for that, but it's insanity. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
That Joe Biden was doing this. But I just want to say about Jordan Neely, I'm going to say this.
I like how he said, well, he's not going to face none of that.
He would not pardon his son, or he whispered it, or commute his sentence. The pardon comes ahead of Hunter's December 12th sentencing for his conviction on federal gun charges. Hunter is also set to be sentenced on tax evasion charges December 16th. None of that's going to happen. Lisa, what do you think of that?
You know, I think he's corrupt. We all knew that Joe Biden was doing this. But I just want to say about Jordan Neely, I'm going to say this.
Yeah. Piers Morgan, we waiting for you, dog. We are waiting for you. We need a debate. We got to know what is going on with this. Piers, we waiting. Y'all tell me when Piers Morgan uploads. We got to see this.
Sanders said that he was insanely threatening, sickening, had a satanic belt. He said that someone is going to die.
Piers Morgan, my dog.
And that he was ready to go to Rikers. If you're any of those people around him, they thought they were going to die. Daniel Penny is a Marine. He signed up to serve and protect this country. That's what he was doing that day on May 1st, 2023.
Yes.
Hunter Biden's corrupt.
Among
so
the many things
One
to love
angry
about
panelist.
Lisa, she never lets something go.
She's not going to let it go.
You want her on that jury.
like a dog on a bone.
This is the least shocking news that we've reported yet.
You knew it was going to happen.
Of course he was going to pardon his son. Also,
Hold on. So Biden issues a statement. Let's listen to it. Let's read this statement, bro. Hold on. All right. Let me see. It says, today I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision making, and I kept my word, even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. He ain't paying taxes. What are you talking about, bro? Hold on, bro. I'm a little mad. Hold on. No, he does not, bro. This dude ain't even paying taxes, bro. Like, what is he doing? This is craziness, man. My bad, y'all. He ain't even paying taxes. How is he unfairly prosecute? Like, what is they talking about, bro? Let me just, because we about to. I done made a decision, bro. We about to go live, for some hours, bro. We about to go live for some hours because I'm like, we ain't about to do this, bro. I'm gonna make sure I ain't about to run out of power. I'm about to make show of it. You know what I'm saying? But he said he was unfairly prosecuted without aggravating factors like use in a crime. Like, what are you talking about? Like he been out doing whatever he. You said taking no paying taxes serious. You gotta pay taxes. You gotta pay it. All that money you got and we gotta pay taxes. Ain't no way, bro. No. I gotta pay taxes on my house every time I buy. No, we ain't doing that, bro. So it said, hold on. He said not to interfere with the Justice Department's decision making, and I kept my word, even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying weapons as a straw purchase. What are you talking about, bro? Like, your son wilding. People are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Like, what are you talking? Like, what y'all be wanting like thug life? Y'all be wanting all these take people's guns away and add all these different things on the, you know what I'm saying, on the forms. So what? He could just lie on the forms? Is that what y'all saying now? Like, that's cool? If they asking him if he does drug use, he could just lie on it and it's cool? Like, what? Multiple purchases of buying a weapon as a straw purchaser. People are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who are late paying their taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. He should have been on the up and up. He is your son. You should have had your CPA deal with your son. Why you gotta let it get to this point? The charges in this cases came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Just like y'all did with Trump. Y'all tried to create doubt with him and give him all kind of felonies and utilize all your resources against Trump. Ain't that what y'all did? Hit the like button, Thug Life. Ain't that what they did? Shout out to Sugar Black. Shout out to Emma in here. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Villa. Ain't this what they did? The charges in the cases came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable solution of Hunter's case. What? Mafioso with the $5 donation. Appreciate you, bro. He said Hunter Biden smokes C-word and sniffs lines of C-word on a girl's B-word and gets away with it. It's unreal. The Democrats get away with everything. You know what I'm saying? No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's case can reach any conclusion that Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. Get out of here, bro. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been, bro, you got to think of like Biden. He is being the crutch, you know what I'm saying? Or the anchor of your presidency. Like, people are looking at like him like, yo, like he bringing white girl to the White House. Like, he doing all this. He acting wild. He sniffing and smoking the C word. Like, they putting a lot on him. He making you look crazy. And you stepping out a limb on him. He lying on forms to buy firearms and all. Like, bro, what is you doing, bro? And you about to bail him out of this situation? You know, pardoning him is basically bailing him out. Like, yo, like y'all can't prosecute him now. That's crazy. I think Trump should pardon himself. He should pardon himself. And them January 6 people, some of them need to be, he can pardon them. Oh, what? Y'all lying on him and saying that he made them do it? He said, make your voices known. Peacefully and patriotically, make your voices known. What if he was to pardon some of them people now? You going back on your word. I'm just saying. No reasonable person who looked at the facts in Hunter's case can reach any other conclusion that Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober. That dude, y'all think Hunter is sober? Y'all tell me in the comment section. Even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution and trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. This is crazy, bro. For my entire family, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. How come y'all wasn't telling us the truth of what y'all was about to do with Ukraine, allowing them to shoot long-range missiles at Russia? How come y'all didn't tell us the truth on that? I'm just asking a question. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has affected this process, and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president will come to this decision. Get out of here! We not doing that, bro. And just how small it is on your screen is like how small it is I'm trying to read it. I didn't blow it up. It's easier to read it if I blow it up, but I wanted y'all to see it too. Like while I was reading, it's like real small. But what y'all think about this, bro? I ain't rocking with you on this, Joe Biden, bro. Your son is a troublemaker. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what's the point of following the rule of law if people could just do whatever they want to do? Y'all tell me what y'all think. And then let's go to the comments. We ain't got no super chats in here, but let's go to the members in here. Froggy Megsy said Trump will. Super Black said subscribe to the channel. Y'all double tap the screen, all that. Thug Life. And then Amir said, what about the laptops? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the laptop. Yo, I heard like there was a whistleblower that said that she was trying to inform CBS. I don't know if that's true or not. I do want to put that out there as a disclaimer. I don't know if this is true. This is just what the lady said. Thug Life. You know what I'm saying? But she said that they were trying to tell CBS what was going on with the Hunter laptop, that Hunter was saying the N-word and all of this different stuff, but they had no interest in the running the news. You know what I mean? And y'all know why. They liberal. That's what it was.
I kind of think he should, because, I mean, he got him into this whole crack business in the first place. And so, I mean, if I had that power and I had a wayward son, I would pardon him. I mean, you know.
Absolutely. Julie, that's I think that's the key issue. Charlie's got it right. It's that the fish rots from the head. Isn't that the saying? Yeah. It was Biden's fault that his son was running around selling, American influence, right?
Yeah. No, what bothers me most is the lies that were told as far as whether Biden actually knew what his son was up to. That really bothers me, because the two of them were obviously in conversation when Hunter was practicing all these international deals. It's just so wrong, and nobody's going to ever hold Biden accountable for that. So I don't blame Hunter for getting
He did get booted out.
Hey, Stan and Fight said it's tradition for the president to pardon a turkey over Thanksgiving.
Out of office, and this is one of the reasons he got booted out of office.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, ultimately, yes, he does lose in all of this, but I want to still find out whose cocaine that was. Are they going to figure that out before Biden leaves?
Actually, now that Charlie, I don't know. I think I would. Would you guys pardon your kid? I think I probably would.
I would.
No,
if I'm being honest.
I mean, it depends on what my kid did. Like, I ain't just about to pardon him for no reason. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it depends, man. It depends on what's going on.
Don't blame him for pardoning.
No, I'm like, I don't know.
I don't blame him for pardoning.
He said that, and I'm like,
obviously.
yeah.
I mean, I think about it like, if my dad could have pardoned me in all the jackpots I got into.
Oh my God, same.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, come on, Dad.
Oh, same.
Dude.
Same. No, you're right. Absolutely.
But then maybe that's why he got himself into all this mess in the first place.
Completely.
There's two people that they protect in media: Hunter Biden and Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber can go down the street, like all that. You know what I'm saying? Hunter Biden too. They will protect them to the day they no longer here no more.
Well, I mean, I think
you guys are so smart.
You don't want her on that
We
jury.
solved all the problems.
Hunter Biden does not want Lisa on
Why
his
haven't
jury.
any
Daniel
of you
Penny
They
does.
would kick me off in 2 seconds. I would never be
Wait,
allowed.
I just want to know why any of you
got the-
haven't been picked as a cabinet member. When is it your turn?
everybody else around
You
here
guys
is
are
getting
so
in
good.
there. Do we want to? Do
Mr.
we have
Trump, if you're
Do we
watching.
have the video of Biden saying he would not pardon his
Bro,
son?
I got a lot of videos of Biden saying that. Hold on. Let me see. I think I got the videos of Biden saying he wouldn't pardon him. Hold on. Yo, Biden crazy. Yo, they got go on my
commute his son.
Go on my Twitter, bro. I got all that Hunter Biden stuff on my Twitter, bro. Y'all gonna be like, what? Hunter is crazy.
Second one, would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Hey, let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Again, you've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
No one is above the law. This is crazy, bruh. Hold on. Joe Biden said, quiet part out loud. They want to lock. Hold on. Oh, no, this is going in it. Hold on. Man, I had like the video. I should have. Man. Whatever, man. I had the video.
Let's see it.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has
What's up,
overcome
Dana?
an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men.
Can somebody wake Candace Owens up and Piers Morgan and let them know what is going down?
No, and I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
What a faker, bro. He fake.
After when Joe Biden says he wasn't going, remember when he originally said I'm not going to do it. And the media is like, oh, he's not going to do it. He's not above the law. And we all knew this moment was coming.
Well, and he knew that if he admitted that he was, obviously that would get him and he thought he'd get reelected. So then this would never become an issue.
Exactly.
Should Trump, Charlie, now say,
politicians
the January
are dirty,
6th
man.
people, I look at them as my children, so I'm going to pardon all of them.
No, I think he should.
Bro, this is not a kid. This is a grown man.
Charlie, now say, the January 6th people, I look at them as my children, so I'm going to pardon.
This a grown dude, bro. Our tax dollars are protecting him. What is this? Hit the like button, Thug Life. Hit the likes.
I'm going to pardon all of them.
No, I think he should at least commute the sentences of all of them and pardon every single one that was obviously just following the person in front of him wandering through the Capitol. Pardon every single one of them. There were some that did.
Yeah, like all the people from January 6th, Trump pardoned them. Yes.
As my children, so I'm going to pardon all of them.
No, I think he should at least commute the sentences of all of them and pardon every single one that was obviously just following.
Yo, they trying to slow the views down. Why y'all doing this, bro? Why y'all trying to slow the views down? Y'all know if I was to do some other news, y'all would be like, the views would be getting crazy. Why y'all trying to slow the views down? Like, y'all, let's be real with your boy. Hit me up. Let me know why y'all doing that.
And the person in front of him wandering through the Capitol. Pardon every single one of them. There were some that did more than just that. And I think he should commute their sentences and let them all out. Every single one of them.
What other pardons we see coming here? Why are we just learning about Hunter? And there's still plenty of time. He's got another month.
And you know why?
Yo, so what about like people that are on death row that's like innocent? He wasted a pardon on this dude. Hold on, let me turn this heat off. Hold on, bro. Look at this, bro. This is insanity, bro. All these innocent people in jail. And this is the dude that he chooses to. It's crazy.
Because I was thinking about this. If I were Donald Trump, I would not pardon Hunter Biden.
I wouldn't.
Which is why Joe Biden has
Bro,
to.
He don't even look like he in his right mind, bro. Bro, everybody from January 6th, bro, is getting pardoned from me if I'm president. Because he did that.
Right? I mean, there's no because on paper there is no justification for pardoning the guy. The guy's guilty. He got special treatment. He was still guilty. So it makes no sense. But if you're his dad and you got him into the jackpot in the first place.
And he got it easy, to your point, right? Like the only reason he ever faced charges in the first place is that sweetheart deal was blown up by a judge. And beyond that, we know that whistleblowers came forward and said that they were thwarted in their investigation into Hunter Biden, and anything that could possibly lead to his dad, Joe Biden, as well. They allowed the Burisma.
Remember I told y'all that earlier? All right, let's see this. Let's read. Let's go to the AP News and read this. Some Democrats are frustrated over Joe Biden reversing course and pardoning his son, Hunter. Atlanta, already reeling from their November defeats, Democrats now are grappling with President Joe Biden's pardoning of his son for federal crimes, with some calling the move misguided and unwise after the party spent years slamming Donald Trump as a threat to democracy who disregarded the law. The president pardoned Hunter Biden late Sunday evening, reversing his previous pledges with a grant of clemency that covers more than a decade of any criminal federal crimes his son might have committed. The 82-year-old president said in a statement that his son's prosecution on charges of tax evasion and falsifying a federal weapons purchase form were politically motivated. We believe in a justice system, but he also believes that politics infected the process and led to miscarriage of justice, said White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, who, along with Biden and other White House officials, insisted for months that Hunter Biden would not get a pardon. The explanation did not satisfy some Democrats, angry that Biden's reversal could make it harder to take on Trump, who has argued that multiple indictments and on convictions against him were a matter of Biden and Democrats turning the justice system against him. Yo, we got to be looking at this justice system though, bro. Like, real talk, man. Like, this justice system is just like just us. Like, you know what I mean? Them people that's up at the top, like these type of people, it's just for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to pay the cost like anybody else. Like, y'all got to think, like, if Hunter Biden was to break out the blick and start going crazy, like, Biden would probably still pardon him. Like, the law is not for them. It's for us. It's for the pawns of this whole thing. It said this is a bad precedent that could be abused by later presidents and would sadly tarnish his reputation. Colorado Governor Gerard Polis wrote of Biden on social media platform X. When you become president, your role is paterfamilias of the nation. The governor continued, a reference to the president invoking fatherhood and explaining his decision. Hunter brought that legal trouble he faced on himself, and one can sympathize with his struggles while also acknowledging that no one is above the law, not a president, not a president's son. Republican Greg Stanton of Arizona said on X, this wasn't a politically motivated prosecution. Hunter committed felonies and was convicted by a jury of his peers. That's what makes it worse. Right, this ain't just like, bro, this is a jury convicted this dude, bro. Like, Biden is something else, bro. Colorado Senator Michael Bennett said Biden put personal interest ahead of duty with a decision that further erodes American faith that the justice system is fair and equal for all. It is not. Senator Peter Welch called the pardon understandable if viewed only as the action of a loving father, but Biden's status as our nation's chief executive, the senator, and said render the move unwise. Certainly, the president has Democratic defenders who note Trump's use of presidential power to pardon a slew of his convicted aides associated with friends, several for activities tied to Trump's campaign and first administration. Trump pardoned Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, Michael Flynn, and Paul Manafort, as well as his son-in-law's father, Charles Kushner. This dude is... Biden need to be in jail, bro. Who he just appointed U.S. ambassador to France, wrote prominent Democratic fundraiser. Yo, he needs to be in jail, bro. Democratic National Committee Chairman Jamie Harrison said there is a standard for Donald Trump and the highest standard for Democrats and Joe Biden. Harrison pointed to Trump's apparent plans to oust FBI Director Christopher Wray and replace him with the loyalist Patel and suggested the GOP's pursuit of Hunter Biden would not have ended without clemency. Most people will see that Joe Biden did what was right, Harrison said. First Lady Jill Biden said Monday from the White House, of course I support the pardon of my son. This is crazy. Democrats already are facing the prospects of a Republican trifecta in Washington, with voters returning Trump to the White House and giving the GOP control of the House and Senate. Part of their argument against Trump and Republican leaders is expected to be that the president-elect is violating norms with his talk of taking retribution against his enemies. Before beating Vice President Kamala Harris, Trump faced his own legal troubles. Yo, what is, like, I hate when it keeps moving like this, bro. Like, what? This is crazy. Like, yo, they are, like, AP, why y'all got so many advertisements, bro? Democrats already are facing the prospect of Republican trifecta in Washington, with voters returning Trump to the White House and giving the GOP control of the House and Senate. Part of the argument against Trump and Republican senators is expected to be president-elect is violating norms with his talk of taking retribution against his enemies. Before beating Vice President Kamala Harris, Trump faces his own legal troubles, including 2 cases that stem from his efforts to overturn his defeat to Joe Biden in the 2020 presidential election. Those cases, including Trump's sentencing after being convicted on New York State business fraud charges, have either been dismissed or indefinitely delayed since Trump's victory on November 5th, forcing Democrats to recalibrate their approach to the president-elect. You know who's got to worry right now that nobody's talking about? I don't think Trump can really do anything to Fani Willis. I think she's kind of protected because that's low key. Like, I don't know. Like, she need to be worried right now because she's been in a whole bunch of scandals, and she's the one that was like putting up a lot of this stuff against Trump, you know, and she had the whole Nathan Wade scandal, all of that. It says in June, President Biden firmly ruled out a pardon or commutation for his son, telling reporters as his son faced trial in the Delaware gun case, "I abide by the jury's decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him." As recently as November 8th, days after Trump's victory, Jean-Pierre out of pardon or clemency for the younger Biden, saying, "We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no." The president's about to face, like, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, I don't. This is crazy, bro.
Burisma, the Burisma information, they allowed that to pass the statute of limitations as well, so they couldn't get him on his Burisma money. That is hard. Burisma,
and all the charges that he didn't ever face.
Well, yeah,
because
the NPR might be a little bit less biased. Let me see NPR. What y'all think? Biden is the first president to pardon a relative. Here's how the power works. All right, so they're biased. Yo, I didn't know NPR left. The topic of presidential pardon is back in the spotlight this week after President Biden announced he signed a full and unconditional one for his son. Hunter Biden was convicted earlier this year of federal gun charges for lying about his addiction to crack cocaine when he purchased a gun, and separately pleaded guilty to tax offenses for failing to pay at least $1.4 million in federal taxes. Sentences in both cases were scheduled to be handed down later this month. I like the way they write better. The president has said publicly that he would not pardon his son, but reversed the promise in an announcement on Sunday in which he called the prosecution unfair and selective. Biden blamed his opponents in Congress for instigating the charges against Hunter and unraveling his would-be plea deal through political pressure, though the special counsel leading the firearm probe has denied facing political interference. In his statement, Biden said, "No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's case can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was signaled out only because he is my son. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process, and it has led to a miscarriage of justice," Biden said. "I hope American will understand why a father and a president will come to this decision. Biden's decision has met with criticism from both sides of the aisle. For one, his rationale closely echoed Donald Trump's claims of a politicized Justice Department. Even though the charges against Hunter Biden and Trump, the first president to be convicted of a felony, are very different. Trump was charged with trying to overturn the 2020 election and endangering national security through his handling of classified documents. Through both cases were dismissed after his 2024 election victory. Trump was quick to slam Biden's pardon as an abuse and miscarriage of justice. Even some Democrats, including Colorado Governor Gerard Polis, Arizona Republican Greg Stanton, and Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, publicly denounced Biden's decision. They warned it could set a dangerous precedent, especially before the return of Trump, who has vowed to pardon January 6 rioters and baselessly suggested he could even pardon himself. Joe Biden put before a country and just pardon his son, tweeted Joe Walsh, an anti-Trump former Republican congressman who had endorsed Biden, and the selfishness took the no one is above the law argument against Trump off the table. Presidential pardons have been commonplace since the days of George Washington, who forgave the 2 men convicted of treason for their roles in the Whiskey Rebellion. Over the years, many have been cause for celebration as well as controversy. What is a pardon? I don't care about that. We already know how a pardon typically used. I said presidents have pardoned all sorts of federal offenses, from marijuana possession to mail fraud to murder. Somewhat along the way, they even started pardoning Thanksgiving turkeys to spare them from the dinner table. Some pardons have, that's crazy that they do that. Some pardons have involved high-profile figures. Andrew Johnson pardoned a doctor who treated John Wilkes Booth's broken leg after his assassination. I didn't know that. Abraham Lincoln, as well as thousands of Confederate soldiers and officials after the Civil War. Warren Harding pardoned Socialist Party leader Eugene Debs after he was sentenced to a decade in prison for speaking out against World War I. Oh, I didn't know that either. Richard Nixon pardoned Teamster leader Jimmy Hoffa during his 15-year prison sentence for jury tampering and fraud. I remember that. Most recently, over 3,000 acts of clemency were granted in the 4 decades between the state and Ronald Reagan and end of the Obama administration, according to the White House Historical Association. But the number of pardons has varied widely between presidents. Obama granted the most clemency actions, 1,927, of which 212 were pardoned. Of 2-term presidents since the mid-20th century, according to the Pew Research Center, George W. Bush issued the fewest, 200, including 189 pardons. Trump granted 237 acts of clemency during his first term, including 143 pardons and 94 commutations. His use of power was relatively rare compared to many of his predecessors, but highly controversial because most of the people he helped had some sort of personal or political connection to him. Bro, y'all NPR, y'all is being biased right now, bro. Y'all be like trying to throw slick jabs at Trump, bro. I see what y'all do. Y'all left, bro.
Just also say the message that the Democrats are now setting to all the gun-toting Republicans out there. Go ahead, be on drugs and go buy a drug. But go buy yourself a gun. I mean, honestly, because that was the whole reason. He wasn't even supposed to have a weapon, and he bought because of his drug.
And lied on a federal form?
Yeah, so, exactly. But these are Democrats that don't want Republicans to have guns, but yet if you have a gun and you have a drug rap, you can still get a gun. So which is it? I mean, I don't know.
So this is actually official now. Biden has signed the pardon for Hunter. That's what we're reporting, right?
Yeah.
So why
according
now,
to NBC.
According to NBC, yes.
Julie, it's after the holiday weekend. Isn't this the kind of thing, if you're going to sign the pardon, don't you do it the day before Thanksgiving?
Well, he was busy pardoning the turkey. The heck? Tom, he doesn't.
Joe Biden is a joke, bro.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and let's start with the day's momentous news. President Joe Biden, remember him, he is the leader of the free world. Well, he's actually going to do something presidential, not for the country, but for his family. He's going to pardon his crack-addled whore enthusiast son, Hunter.
Get him, Rita! She funny.
But weren't we told over and over again that would never happen?
From a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Not any possibility. Not any possibility. She was clear on that, as I said, over and over again.
Second one, would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago.
Yo, did she really just say that about Hunter? That's funny, bro.
Momentous news. President Joe Biden, remember him, he is the leader of the free world. Well, he's actually going to do something presidential, not for the country, but for his family. He's going to pardon his crack-addled whore enthusiast son, Hunter. But weren't we told over and over again that would never happen?
From a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well,
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead.
She is the biggest clown. She's a clown. Y'all hit the like button. I see like one person hitting it. Everybody hit it. Stop playing with me. Hit the likes.
Go ahead.
Not any possibility. Not any possibility. She was clear on that. As I said, over and over again.
Second one, would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
I'm starting to think that the Biden White House has been lying to us.
Again, you've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Oh dear. And Joe Biden himself ruled out a pardon for Hunter.
But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Yep, he ruled it out. You couldn't get any clearer than that. But then this happened today.
US President Joe Biden has pardoned his son's criminal convictions.
Now to someone I'm sure you've missed, the trans activist who almost single-handedly destroyed Bud Light. Here's Dylan Mulvaney telling us about how she feels post-election. I'm sure you've been dying to know.
How are you feeling at this moment in time?
I feel scared and hopeful and a little reckless, but sexy and fun. I no longer feel like I am trying to win over the wrong people anymore. I think that I want to find my community. I know a lot of who those people are and find some more of the good ones.
Yo, I wish Twitter would like change. You know, like thing I hate about Twitter is like when you upload something and then like you go back to something that you just seen, like it's gone. Like I wanted to show y'all something. This is terrible.
With daddy issues. This is a hairdresser from Omaha, Nebraska, with some terrible advice and a warning here. This woman is insufferable.
So you want to get back at your dad for voting for Donald Trump, do you, pumpkin? I have a great idea. Show up to Thanksgiving with a shaved head and see what happens. Because American dads have never really been given the room to adequately express themselves, it makes them real mad when you do for yourself.
I told you she was insufferable.
Somebody said 573 in here, only 71 likes. Hit the like button, y'all. Stop playing, bro. Hit the emojis and everything, man.
And she's not just encouraging irrational.
If I was Hunter Biden, y'all would be hitting everything. What, I gotta sniff something? All right, hit the likes.
To make some very poor decisions, she wants to facilitate it.
Other dad mad options would include getting a tattoo on your face or your neck or even your hands, maybe. Ooh, or a facial piercing. That'll really set him off. I love doing like that so much. I even want to help you on your dad mad journey, cutie. And you would like to shave your head before you go home for the holidays? I'll do it for you for free.
Do you think she just wants to uglify the competition? It is a interesting strategy. Now to activist journalists. Is there another kind? Kara Swisher. She considers herself an astute political commentator and strategist.
Yo, they really lighten Hunter Biden up on Twitter, bro. I can't show y'all none of this. It's crazy, though.
Her advice to the Democrats earlier this year.
Rapist, racist, fascist, over and over and over again. And then the trials are happening at the same time. He's just had to pay, he's just $93 million poorer right now. And just hammer it in with those three things. Rapist, racist, fascist.
Gosh, I'm shocked that didn't work. How did that not work? But after cheering on the lawfare and the unhinged attacks on Donald Trump and his supporters, Kara now.
Hey y'all, Candace Owens going in on I'm trying to wait for her to finish so I can show y'all. She going in on Hunter Biden right now.
Wants the Republicans
Candace!
to stop celebrating. Apparently, there is too much joy. Listen to this bitter lunacy.
My fail is them insulting everybody and doing everything. I think they're overstepping really quickly and becoming sore winners. NFL players are doing the Trump dance.
We ain't doing that.
There's no defending it until.
President Biden has pardoned the turkey and handed a late Thanksgiving gift to Donald Trump. Hunter Biden was convicted in June of 3 felony charges over the purchase of a gun and 9 tax evasion charges in a separate case in September. His father, the president, has repeatedly and emphatically pledged not to interfere.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the...
Yo, they raided Barron's room, right? But they never raided, like... I don't know if y'all can see it. But they didn't raid, like, Hunter Biden's room. It's crazy.
Greatest, most decent men I know.
This dude is so corrupt. He is so corrupt, bro. Thug life.
I'm satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
But now he has, and the language used in a lengthy statement released to justify this screeching 180-degree turn is the final nail in the coffin of Biden's credibility. He called the prosecution selective and unfair. He said raw politics of political opponents has led to a miscarriage of justice and that the only reason the convictions ever happened is because of a political campaign. Compare that to the words used by Trump and his supporters about the spurious story Stormy Daniels' conviction and try to spot the difference.
This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent.
And they slowing the video down, bro. If this was something else, like this would be like right now, it'd be like 20-something thousand views. We got like 14,300 views. Why y'all slowing the video down? Like, stop playing, bro. Like, what? Stop playing with me, bro. I'll be paying attention to everything.
I think it's just a disgrace.
Well, he was right.
I guess Hunter Biden news. Don't nobody want to know right now.
No difference besides the Trumpian rhetorical flourish. And when President Trump starts issuing pardons for the January 6th rioters, which he will blame on a political campaign and a miscarriage of justice, the Democrats will find they have tumbled off the high moral ground and landed flat on their hypocritical faces. Now, look, I don't blame Joe Biden for looking out for his troubled son, whom he clearly loves and respects. I'd have done the same. In fact, I even suggested a month ago that Donald Trump should consider pardoning Hunter Biden as a unifying gesture in these febrile times.
What do y'all think about this? All right, Piers Morgan, like, I don't agree with you right now, bro. Like, what he's being, like, no, like, I normally be agreeing. I don't agree with you right now, man.
That's because I've been repeatedly assured that President Biden is a man of his word, and his words have so often been like this.
Each of us is equal before the law. No one is above the law. Not even the President of the United States.
But now everybody is equal under the law except the President of the United States and his children. When Trump is inevitably attacked for taking care of his family supporters over the next few months, expect an aggressive and curt 2-word response. Hunter Biden. In just a moment, we'll debate all the ladies from my panel, but first I'm joined by the former Democratic mega donor, John Morgan. John, thank you so much for joining me. First of all, your reaction as a former Democratic mega donor to this bombshell news overnight that President Biden, after repeated and emphatic denials he would do this, has now pardoned his criminal son, Hunter.
Well, I'm not surprised at all, and I'll tell you why. If you look at Joe Biden in context, years ago he lost a child and a wife in a car accident. He's then raising these small children. He raises 2 boys. One turns out to be an addict. One turns out to be the next great thing. The one who turned out to be the next great thing, Bo, dies also. And now you're left with Hunter. Joe Biden has always had a blind spot for his children. I think the way he looked at this was not as president, but as a parent. And as a parent...
Wait, how many kids does he have left? Hold on. I want to see. Joe Biden, 2 surviving children include 1 son from his first marriage, Robert Hunter Biden, and 1 daughter from his second, So he only has one living son. That's what this is saying. The Independent. What is it? Who are Joe Biden's children? So he is getting like up in age. He probably don't want to like be on his deathbed, you know what I mean? Like, and not have his kids around him. Like, but he's still like, Hunter needs to go to jail, bro. So he's got 3. So who are Joe Biden's children? What to know about Hunter, Ashley, Bill, and Naomi? Why y'all be making it so hard to learn about like the president? Like, how many kids he got? Like, he's a president. Like, we should be knowing that. They like hiding it.
But he said to himself, the only reason that my son was prosecuted was because of me. And I'm not going to let that happen. I'm 80-something years old. I'm his father, and my love for him is so intense that I'm willing to do what I'm
Y'all in the chat, I need y'all to do some research too. How many living children does he have?
To do because he was taking
Johnny
this
said
from me,
too.
and I'm going to take it from him. That's what I believe his thought process is.
Right, which is completely understandable in terms of a father making that call for his son. And I know the Biden family story very well. I've spoken to Joe Biden about what happened to his family, and it was a very moving, powerful conversation. I knew Beau Biden very well.
Too,
He appeared a lot
okay,
on
too.
my old CNN show. However, and it's a significant however, he has
Emma said too. Adrian said too. Cindy said too. Okay.
repeatedly publicly denied this year that he would do anything to pardon his son. More importantly, he's put up his White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, to repeatedly say from the White House podium this.
But from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility
Yeah, he's 82 years old, bro.
that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there,
I just said no. I just answered.
The president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
His son, Hunter, is also up for being sentenced.
But then, like, you make people like this look like fools, right? Because, like, she's just going off of what they're telling her. And so now everybody looking at her, going in on her on Twitter, too. Like, yo, you said no. Now what is this?
Next month, does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
President Biden says that he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter. Is he going to ask Donald Trump to do that?
I don't have anything else to share about that. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole on this. I've been very clear. The president's been very clear when we've been asked this question.
I mean, they were very clear.
Bro, classism is insane in this country, man. It's literally insane. Like, if your father's like a rich president, you can do anything. Anything. You can have pay people for, you can do anything, bro.
The president and his press secretary, but it turned out that nothing they were saying was correct, which prompts the question, were they deliberately lying, knowing that he was going to do this? Or has President Biden just thrown his press secretary and, I assume, all his top team under the bus because they were all out there defending him and saying he wouldn't do this, and now he's done it?
Well, as you know, Piers, politicians are politicians. All those statements were said when he was still running for re-election, and now he's not. How many times have you and I heard politicians say, I'm going to only serve for 8 years. I'm going to only serve for 12 years. I'm going to term limit myself. And as soon as that time comes, they go, well, the people still want me. I'm not surprised by it. The optics are terrible. But when I bore it down, I look at myself. I've got 4 children. I've got 6 grandchildren. I would take a bullet for them or me, every day. And at the end of the day, it gets down to that.
Hey, Froggy Megzy, I see she said Biden is a pedo. Cindy frankly said, my option there should be a limit to what someone can get a pardon on. Yeah. And then Cindy said his son Buell was kicked out of the army for testing positive for cocaine. Johnny said he loves sniffing kids. Raymond says, Cindy, I believe that's called dishonorable discharge. Yo, that's crazy. Like, this is insane, man. Not a Cult said, I bet they charged him just to do this specific pardon. For sure, looks corrupt.
I'm an old man.
And then Mafioso said, this guy is pretty much saying politicians lie all the time, so deal with it. Yeah.
With the troubled son, I know the heat I'm going to take. He knows the heat he's going to take for this. This will be with him forever. But for him, his son, look, I was at the White House dinner when the Prime Minister of India was there. He has Hunter there. Hunter's been front and center this whole time. Joe Biden never ran from him. He ran to him. The love we have for our children, I believe, is the love God wants us to understand his love is like for
bro, if my kids was wilding like this, bro, they would be in jail, bro. I'm sorry. Like, sometimes, like, you got, like, when you got an addict, you may have to put them in jail, bro, for them to get clean.
I don't want to get too religious here, but that love for a child is so damn powerful that I can understand what he did.
Well, you see, look, I like I say, on a human level, I don't disagree with you. The problem is, it seems to me, is that by making such a shameless and frankly very hypocritical U-turn in the way that he's done, albeit for exactly the reasons I'm sure that you have said, although there's another part to this I'll come to in a moment, which is I think complicating that picture. But at the same time, Joe Biden has now got a legacy, hasn't he, which he's left his party, where he carried on too long. He should have stood down, I think, at the latest at the start of the year and allowed a proper process to choose an effective nominee, but he didn't. He left it so late that he then self-imploded in that debate with Trump, and as a consequence had to be pushed aside, which he was ruthlessly. But then Kamala Harris got this weird coronation, again, without any competition. And I think that was really a
Adrian Kennedy said, I will send my son under the jail, bro. I'm not about to have you out here free. You got like $1 million. You going to sniff yourself into a coma. Like, no, you need to be in jail.
Of events which cost the...
Because I think Hunter Biden's net worth is like $1 million. Like, so that's more than enough for him to keep buying... You know what I mean? And doing all of this crazy stuff. You need to be in jail.
Democrats the election. But now he's left a legacy where it's almost impossible now for Democrats to go after Trump for the next 4 years, as they would have been licking their lips at doing, on anything to do with shamelessness or hypocrisy or, frankly, downright lying or nepotism or any of these things, which Trump, they were already heating this up with his nomination picks, the ones involving family and so on. But how can the Democrats do any of that when their president, who's still president now until January the 20th, that their president has done such a shameless, hypocritical act and lied so brazenly to the American people about his intentions over that act?
What they will do is they will discard him as fast as they can. They will say it was wrong, he shouldn't have done it, and that will be that. Look, the hypocritical part about the Democratic Party is they were running on this notion that democracy was at stake. And so what did they do? They nominated someone with no democracy. A person who never got one delegate when she ran for president, a person who could never be untied from Biden-Harris. The coronation you talked about, that's the hypocrisy here. This hypocrisy will go away quickly. Joe Biden...
Froggy Megzy says, stop enabling. Ramey said, in the dictionary, the picture of a bottom feeder, there is a picture of John Morgan. Cindy said, "I'm sure no one knows how that coat got into the White House." Yeah, no, I think they low key like stopped investigating it. Froggy Megzy said all of the people that selling themselves, he's probably got a lot going on down there too. Exactly.
Biden's calculus is this, and believe me, he's very, very concerned about his legacy. But when he measures his legacy versus the pain,
Biden is not concerned with his legacy doing that, bro.
That it would be for him and his child.
But like Americans, like, to be real, we do like fight against our interest and common sense a lot of times, like we do. So maybe they will be like forgiving, like, okay, well, if it was my son, I'd do the same thing. You know, like, because anything that makes sense, said we tend to be against. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe the public will like turn and be in favor of him. I don't know.
He has said clearly, to hell with my legacy. I love
Not all of us, but you know, some of us.
Child more.
Well, I think he's torched his legacy, if I'm honest. But here's the complication I alluded to, which is that the pardon includes any activity starting on January the 1st, 2014. That is when Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma that year, a Ukrainian energy company, where he was paid millions. It's believed up to $11 million in his tenure there, despite knowing absolutely nothing, which qualified him to be an expert in energy, while his father was the vice president of the United States.
Y'all hear this? Like, bruh, classism is a thing. Cinco, you hear this? This is crazy. He don't know anything about it, but he gets a cush job making $11 million a year just because of who his father, who he's. This is crazy.
Activity starting on January the 1st, 2014. That is when Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma that year, a Ukrainian energy company, where he was paid millions. It's believed up to $11 million in his tenure there, despite knowing absolutely nothing, which qualified him to be an expert in energy. While his father...
You see this sugar black? This is crazy.
Father was the vice president of the United States and deeply personally involved at Barack Obama's instigation in US policy towards Kyiv. And the implication from this incredibly wide-ranging pardon is that there may be other things that we don't know yet, which have been hinted at and rumored by and so on, involving what the Biden family may have done in relation to Burisma, which Joe Biden has now effectively pardoned in advance. Tim Pool on X said, "Whoa, it's Burisma. That's the real reason for the pardon. The gun charge and tax shit were to create plausible deniability when he pardoned his son for selling out the United States." I mean, are you concerned? Look, I know you've been close to the family. You flew with Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, to the inauguration in 2020 and in his plane 2021. You know, you've always called yourself a Joe Biden Democrat before, and so on. Are you worried when you read the specific nature of this pardon?
Cindy said Joe's whole family was on the board. What are we going to do, Cindy? This country crazy.
That is really what this may be about?
No, because there's no defending it intellectually, especially when you superimpose those words that you put up before this conversation. There is no defending it intellectually. There's only one way to explain it, and that is a parent's love. If your child robbed a bank...
Bro, who is this? Like, do he be watching Joe Biden's shoes? Like, who is this dude, bro?
Would you turn him in?
I'm tired of him. Dude, they got a debate going on. I don't want to hear this dude no more. He's a Joe Biden bootlicker, bro.
There's a businessman, Grant Cardone, who spoke at Trump's Madison Square rally, spokeswoman for Turning Point Action, Caitlin Sinclair, the host of Social Contract with Joe Walsh and former Republican Congressman Joe Walsh, and Wajahat Ali from the Democracy-ish podcast. Well, welcome to all of you. Wajahat, I want to play you again the Karine Jean-Pierre statements on whether the President of the United States was going to pardon his son? Because I think it is crucial to this whole debate. Let's have another listen.
But from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there,
I just said no. I just answered.
Well, Jaha, I mean, I almost feel sorry for you today. A rare sentiment when you come on uncensored, because you can normally give as good as you get. But honestly, man, what a bunch of shameless, lying hypocrites. Would you disagree with that assessment?
I think two reasons why Joe Biden turned on his initial promise. Number one, as your guest mentioned, father's love. And number two, because Donald Trump is not a normal president. I think Joe Biden thought he would win election. He probably thought Kamala Harris would win. If another Republican would have run, he probably thought, okay, there wouldn't be any vindictive prosecution. But Donald Trump, in the final month of his election campaign, said that the rest of us who are his critics are the enemy from within, on whom he would unleash the police and the National Guard, called us
Why are you
evil,
talking about
called us
Donald
scum.
Trump?
Wait, listen.
Well, hang on, why?
This dude, bro. Can somebody tell me why is he talking about Donald Trump right now? That makes no sense to talk about Trump right now.
Why are you talking about Trump? I'm asking you about Biden and his press secretary. Hang on.
Oh my God, bro. That's what I'm talking about. People be fighting against their common sense, man. It's ridiculous.
Make it easier. I'm going to play you a little mashup of the president himself lying. Let's take a look.
Go ahead.
Your son Hunter is on trial, and I know
He like, I don't care. Go ahead.
you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know, and I am. I'm satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
I mean, Vijay, he just lied. He obviously always
Yeah,
intended
he
to
lied.
pardon him.
You-
And you've
and
been
you know
very,
who else lied?
you have rightly been very keen to remind everybody in every appearance you've made on this show about Trump's lack of veracity as you see it and how damaging to democracy that is. President Biden literally lied to the American people throughout the entire race. He knew he was going to pardon his son. So presumably, try not to mention Trump here. Just talk about Biden. Presumably,
It's
you
impossible.
are. Well, hang on, it's not impossible. You can literally
No, it is.
You can take it in isolation and just
Sure.
give an honest view of what Biden has done here.
Number one, shouldn't have lied. He lied. That's wrong. Number two, I think he wasn't going to pardon him if he thought he would win or if he thought Kamala Harris would win. Why do I think he pardoned him? Two reasons. Number one, I'm a father. You're a father. I think your previous guest had it correct. A father's love for his son, Hunter Biden, who suffered from addiction and had to suffer 4 years of a vindictive witch hunt where they couldn't find anything on his laptop, got him on a trumped up gun possession charge. Even when that came out, Republicans, hardcore MAGA people were like, that's weak. Very rarely investigated, very rarely indicted, but they got him on that and tax evasion charges. He tried to pay back the taxes. They still got him. He realized, due to Trump's vindictiveness, because Trump is now president and Kash Patel most likely will be his FBI director. Kash Patel promised just 3 weeks ago he will go after Trump's enemies, including the media. You should be worried, Pierce, and also political rivals. Joe Biden, as an 82-year-old man, said, okay, I want to spare my son the trouble because Trump is so vindictive and cruel, and Kash Patel's the head of the FBI. Let me pardon him. Political pardons have been done by Republicans
Hunter Biden better not ever ask for anything for Christmas again, bro.
and by Democrats. Did Biden lie? He did. Did he go back on his word? He did. Should he be criticized that? He should be criticized for that, but this is why he did it. And if I may say this, for my panelists and for all your MAGA viewers, this is me playing the world's smallest violin for their fake hypocritical outrage. And to quote Melania Trump, I really don't care that they're pissed off. Do you? Because Donald Trump is a convicted criminal. MAGA doesn't care. Donald Trump pardoned the most easily, like, a hub of villainy: Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Steve Bannon, his co-conspirators. MAGA didn't care. Literally, he pardoned Charles Kushner, the father of Jared Kushner, and just gave him a job as the ambassador to France. Talk about the swamp. MAGA doesn't care. Trump incited
Hey, Sugar Black said, never trust a crackhead.
a violent insurrection. MAGA doesn't care. Trump literally committed criminal tax fraud through Trump Organization. MAGA doesn't care. So I don't care about this. It's a victimless crime. They went after Hunter Biden. He didn't use the gun to participate in a violent insurrection. If he did, he'd probably be part of the Trump cabinet.
Okay.
MAGA, of all people, should not care. They voted for a criminal.
And you know the problem with John Hatt with that wonderfully evocative soliloquy? If it was Donald Trump Jr. we were talking about, you'd have said the complete opposite. Let me bring in Grant Cardone here. I mean, Grant, I just found it breathtaking to wake up to that news this morning. Literally jaw-droppingly breathtaking. Not because I was particularly surprised that he did this for his son, but the fact that he allowed himself and his press secretary at the White House to so often lie to the American people. Why would Joe Biden not think that his legacy now is completely torched?
Because he's got away with it. He's gotten away with it his whole career. 50 years he's been lying to the American public. When he said he wouldn't pardon his son, the day he said that, I told my wife, I'm like, he will pardon his son 100%. And anyone that believed that is naive. And the fact that the Democratic Party believed Kamala was put in, that Hunter Biden somehow didn't do it, or the Burisma thing, he's not connected. This is ridiculous. The Democrat Party has been lying to the American public, not for 4 years, but for 50 years, maybe 100 years. I was a Democrat the first half of my lifetime until I realized they're lying to the middle class about saving the middle class. Probably Hunter Biden still has a drug problem, because what we know now is Joe Biden will lie about his son. He'll lie about his intentions. In this interview that you played earlier, he said, my son is a recovered addict. Now I'm starting to wonder, was that his cocaine in the White House? Is he actually really recovered? Look, we know this. He is a tax evader. He was carrying a gun illegally. He is a drug addict. Whether he's recovered or not, no one knows. And the Burisma thing is why they settled that case. Remember, he pled guilty to this so that it wasn't actually taken all the way into court. He pled guilty, so there must have been a deal, Piers, as you know. They made a deal to cover up the number one man, Joe Biden, his father.
Yeah. Joe Walsh, I was very interested to see your...
Cindy said, convicted by crooked judges and DAs. Michael Mann said, what a weak man. Just keep on keeping on with Trump. Ash says, spoiled adult brat. Yo, you ain't lying. Not a cult said, and he'll lie about his business dealings. The realist said, wonder who left the Snow White in the White House, him or Kamala. Cindy said, one of the conditions to let her run was a pardon for Hunter.
Reaction to this, because I think we've talked about
Nikki said it absolutely was Hunter's coke, no doubt,
about a lot of these issues in this campaign. You felt very strongly about Trump in many different ways, and yet here is Joe Biden just so brazenly behaving like all the worst traits that Democrats would say Donald Trump behaves: shamelessness, hypocrisy, lying, nepotism, all of it, all in one bang. How damaging is this? How shocked are you?
Pierce, not shocked, but completely deflated. And by the way, I agree with everything you said to really open your show about this issue. The reason I'm so pissed off about what Joe Biden did is it's wrong. It sets a horrible precedent, but it helps Trump. And for those of us like Wajahat and me, who believe and have been saying for years that Trump is a unique threat to this country, that Donald Trump is, in fact, uniquely corrupt and lawless and dishonest. We've been out there saying that for years. And what Biden did last night pulls the rug out from that. And Pierce, to what you said, the lying. I believe Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. Fine. That's what I believe. Joe Biden repeatedly lied about this. And I've already heard from a bunch of Trump supporters in the last 12 hours who've said, see, Joe, they all lie. See, Joe, Trump's not the only one who thinks he's above the law. Now Joe Biden thinks Hunter's above the law. So it's helped Trump. That's why it's such a bad move.
Yeah, and also, Joe, Trump has done what I knew he would do, which is immediately talk about the January 6th rioters, who many of whom obviously have been jailed. He says, does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages, as he calls them, who've now been in prison for years? Such an abuse and miscarriage of justice. We'll come to you in a moment, but Joe, of course he's going to say that. And of course people on the Republican side are going to say, well, if that's going to happen, then you got to release these other guys. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. What it did, Pierce, was it made all the bad stuff that Trump's going to do that much more acceptable to most Americans. I'm not talking about the far right. They'll follow Trump off the cliff. I'm not talking about the far left who liked the fact that Joe Biden pardoned his son. I'm talking about all the Americans in the middle who I've been trying to convince that Trump's a unique threat. Well, when he pardons the January 6 rioters, it will be just that much more acceptable to them.
Bert Francis said, then how can true justice be represented in other countries and USA is involved with other matters of that said countries? Mafioso said, Biden didn't pardon Hunter. He pardoned himself because of Hunter's Burisma's shady dealings. He was involved also.
Them. Because of what Joe Biden did last night.
Yeah, I think that's right. Caitlin, the other part of this, as I was saying earlier with my earlier guest, was this whole specific timing of the pardon from January the 1st, 2014, which would then cover the entire period that Hunter worked at Burisma, for which he had absolutely no expertise to warrant the job he got there, earning millions and millions of dollars, while his father was effectively the envoy to Ukraine on behalf of Barack Obama, the president. It looks like, on the face of it, they fear that there may be something that comes out of all that stuff, which may also need to be covered by a wide-ranging pardon that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Let's do this, right? Well, this ain't it. This ain't what. Hold on.
Well, he pardoned.
This is it right here. This guy's got good commentary.
Will he pardon his son? No.
Have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. President Biden just pardoned his son, Hunter Biden. What does this mean? A pardon is a forgiveness for a crime committed. Hunter Biden was found guilty on gun-related charges in Delaware and pleaded guilty to tax evasion in California. So what this means is his dad, President Joe Biden, just wiped all of that clear. And not just that, but any federal crime this man, Hunter Biden, may or may not have committed over the last 10 years, since 2014. It'd be one thing if it was, oh, I'm just gonna pardon him for his tax and gun stuff, whatever. But anything since 2014, we're definitely gonna get into that. But for right now, let's get into Joe Biden's statement. Statement from President Joe Biden. Today, I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere. He literally said, he would not interfere with the Justice Department decision making, and I've kept my word, even as I watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. Yeah, okay. But yes, Joe Biden has non-stop been saying he wasn't going to do this, and now he has. Without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. Well, do you know why he was treated differently? He was treated differently because because over the last, oh my gosh, over the last decade, honestly, since 2014, your son Hunter has been involved in some really shady things. The things that I have witnessed in 2020 regarding Hunter Biden and everything that leaked online, and oh my gosh, we have so much to get into. It comes to no surprise why he was looked into a certain way. Calling a spade, it was clear as day. The things that we've seen Hunter do, the things that he has done, the things that he's talked about, business dealings, everything in between just screams shady. So yes, it is bound to be looked into in a certain way. The charges in his case came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Bull. You know what? Here we go. The deal with this whole thing is we're not about to sit here and be gaslit into thinking that this is only because of Joe Biden's election and people want to stop it and interfere with it. No, y'all were the ones to do that. FBI told Twitter no further comment when asked if Hunter Biden's laptop was real.
And one thing I like about him is he uses ground news. And they kind of like let you see like the reality of what's going on. Raymond E said, people were saying he R-word. I can't say that on here. Froggy said, this guy speaks facts. Listen.
Rep Jim Jordan says, FBI personnel informed social media companies that Hunter Biden laptop could be a part of Russian hack leak operation before the 2020 election, but they knew it was legitimate. My account on Instagram almost got deleted and taken down because I was speaking out about against this in 2020. I knew it was true. We've seen everything on the internet. It's there for anybody to see. All of it was true in there, but they gaslit everybody into thinking that it was a hack and a leak. And of course, yeah, no one on the left is talking about it. It don't stop there. Congressional report, CIA interfered in 2020 election, colluded with Biden campaign to discredit Hunter Biden laptop story. Active CIA contractors collaborated with Hunter.
With Sugar Black, they slowing this video down right now.
Biden campaign and discrediting Hunter Biden's laptop as a Russian disinformation prior to the 2020 election, as per a joint report from 3 House panels. You remember that document that had like 50 former CIA, NSA, FBI directors and people that work for them talking about, oh my gosh, this is a scam, this is from Russia, this and that. It was all real. And of course, looky there, no one on the right, no one on the left talked about it at all. Mainly people on the right calling it out. I ain't done. Another one right here. Facebook, this is literally a month ago. Facebook executives suppressed Hunter Biden laptop story, a scandal, in order to curry favor with Biden-Harris admin. A congressional report reveals that Facebook executives coordinated censorship decisions to please the incoming Biden-Harris administration regarding the Hunter Biden laptop story. Once again, mainly people on the right talking about it, no one on the left. It frustrates me. Do not start with this whole oppose my election BS. This is the exact reason why President Trump won the popular vote, because people are fed up. We see right through the BS. Look at what was just posted from Politico. Earlier this year, Biden says he won't pardon son Hunter. And then today, Republicans say Biden is a liar after he pardons his son Hunter. You're the liar, Politico. Like, you just... Oh my gosh. Do you...
Hey, Odom, I can't believe it either.
You see why there's so many people who feel like they're just going crazy at this point. Like, just gaslit, manipulated, the whole nine. Why there's so much lack of trust in the mainstream media because of things just like that. And truth be told, again, this is one of the many reasons why I get all of my news from Ground News, because I can see clear as day who's covering what. How am I being misled? Am I being lied to? What are the different headlines? I can see everything right here. So if you like how this is laid out and you like how it clearly showed like who is saying what, be sure to tap the link below or scan the QR code here on the screen. They got you covered. And my favorite part about Ground News is what you see here. This is considered a blind spot where the left isn't talking about it, but the right is. But they have a whole page dedicated to it. And what's really cool is, again, you can see everything that the left isn't talking about, but the right is. But then also everything the left is talking about, but the right isn't. Texas committee won't examine maternal deaths in first years after abortion ban. That is something that we should be looking into. And the plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out
Hey, Raymond, I don't really rock with the FBI like that. Like, I think the FBI is corrupt. I don't care what they say.
As if we haven't seen everything that he has done. Hunter was singled out because he is my son, and that is wrong. What is wrong is how much you have lied to the American people, that you said you weren't going to do this, and you are. How you've lied about the things that Hunter has done straight to our faces. How there's been so much corruption, which we're going to get in later in this video. It's not this cut and dry. Anyways, there has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober. Y'all remember that story? Even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution, in trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. You have broken the American people and mainstream media. I'm so sorry. Ooh, this administration. For my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the...
He said, ooh, this administration. Let's see what they did to this show.
Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system.
Yo, he
even though you just gave your son a get out of jail free card, knowing all that he's done, and you said you wouldn't do, okay. But as I wrestle with this, I also believe raw politics has infected the process, and it led to miscarriage of justice. This administration is so full of it. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and their president will come to this decision. This man had Thanksgiving dinner with Hunter, and Hunter said, come on, Pops, you about to be out of here, you about to die. Go ahead and pardon me, and we good. Just tell the American people the truth. That's actually mind-boggling coming from the Biden-Harris campaign. It really is. And it's coming straight from Biden himself, referring to his son, knowing how much was colluded. Child, blows my mind. The hypocrisy.
But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
For months, this administration has said that he's not going to do it. And what did this man do? He went up and did it. Let's look at this other clip.
Second one, will the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Okay. Hey, let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Again, you've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying it would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
All they do is lie, and it's so funny because it's coming from the party of like, oh my gosh, like nepotism, white privilege. What is this? A whole get out of free jail card for your adult son since 2014. Excuse me? Could you just imagine if this was Trump Jr. and the amount of things and how, if everything was just flipped, if everything that we've seen regarding Hunter Biden and all the things that he's been accused of, if this was Trump Jr. and Trump, how would the media be covering the story right now? If it was a case of Trump pardoning his son, knowing everything we've seen with Hunter, how would they be acting? Regarding Hunter Biden and the things that are online for everybody to see, the things that I have witnessed, I've seen him rack up his that is huge with the M&Ms. I've seen him sniff toes.
Yo, Odom, wow.
I've seen bathtub that all of it. I mean, I can go on and on. You got to use different search engines and you got to use different browsers. But
yeah, you're not going to find everything from the search engine that we normally use. They kind of don't want you to see a lot of stuff. Like, here's what it is. So, I don't know. Let's hear what Candace Owens is saying. Yo, she said crack wins today. Candace! What's up, Deontay Kennedy? Let's hear what she got to say. Come on, Candace. Come on, Candace! She ain't finished uploading. It ain't finished uploading, y'all. I hate when that happens. Would she use like OBS?
Yeah, no, sorry. And here's another
All right, here we go.
respected. I don't know. It's just so let them eat cake. Speaking of letting them eat cake, they certainly will not be enjoying it if Kash Patel gets confirmed. That's who Donald Trump just elected to be, or nominated rather, to be the new FBI director. And the deep state is panicking. And later on, we absolutely must pivot and discuss the Wicked press tour because it's a lot. It's a lot of tears. Ariana Grande is crying. Nobody knows why everybody keeps crying on this press tour, but it's making everybody extremely uncomfortable. And I'm one of the people that feels extremely uncomfortable when I watch these clips. So, because most people weren't following the Hunter Biden case, it got pretty crazy after the laptop. Everybody was at each other's throats, and people thought that he was being unfairly prosecuted. Okay, here's what happened. Hunter Biden was convicted in June of this year of 3 felony charges. They were related to the purchase of a gun back in 2018. You see, Hunter lied on his application. There's a question there, and they ask you whether or not you are illegally using or addicted to drugs. And he said no. But then his laptop happened, which was really a treasure trove of na boo boo, I'm rich, and there's really nothing that you can do about it. For example, one of the videos of the many videos in his laptop that he had filming himself smoking crack, there was one video in which he was smoking crack while driving 172 miles per an hour in Vegas. I'm just showing you a still here of that video. Look, he's smiling. He's just so happy because he's on crack, right? So he's like, look at me, haha, no rules of Hunter Biden. And here's another still of another video of him smoking crack. And here's another still of another video of Hunter Biden smoking crack. So Hunter Biden is a unique case of crack confidence. I mean, I feel weird. I'm not kidding. If I'm holding a glass of wine in a photo, I'm like, oh, like, I feel might be a little bit trashy. This guy, no, he's just doing whatever. He loved it so much and was really proud of himself and felt that even just by himself, he needed to record himself breaking the law. And that's not it, by the way. If you're thinking, okay,
Well, the realist said it right. Privileged junkies.
a gun charge. Nope. Hunter Biden also pled guilty. So it's not a question of whether or not he is guilty. He pled guilty to 9 federal tax charges, 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors in Los Angeles in September for falsifying records and failing to file tax returns dating to a period when he was, you guessed it, hooked on crack cocaine, alcohol, and he had so much access to cash. He owed at least $1.4 million during the period of 2016 to 2019. I want you to remember those dates, 2016, 2019. He's falsifying records, not paying taxes, and making a ton of money and spending it on a lot of crack. Okay, now, if regular people don't file their taxes for 3 years, if regular people are caught falsifying records and lying to the IRS to the tune of millions of dollars, we will be hunted down. And when those federal agents find you, you can't just be like, sorry, I was smoking crack. That's just not a legitimate excuse. I mean, at least in our world, it's not a legitimate excuse. But apparently for the rich and the famous and the political, this treatment.
Yeah. Mafia also said Trump's going to be in the White House saying, no worries, my fellow Americans, hold my beer. I'm going to bring what the Democrats do not believe in, justice.
Hunter Biden is somehow unfair because it is a legitimate excuse. We should be more understanding that actually, even though he pled guilty and even though he recorded himself committing various crimes, the only reason he was prosecuted was because he was Joe Biden's son. Or at least that's what Joe Biden is saying. He released a statement to that effect when he pardoned his son. I'm just going to read you the beginning of this statement because it's all you need to get the gist.
We already read that.
Penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. Yes, Mr. President, it certainly is very clear that your son has been treated differently his entire life. On that, we definitely agree. And by the way, what is he speaking about? Was I not alive last year, the year before, the last 5 years, watching all of these reality stars being prosecuted for the exact same crimes? Let's not forget, reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley of the show Chrisley Knows Best are currently serving time in prison for tax evasion and fraud and falsifying documents. That's happening currently. Also, who could forget Joe and Teresa Giudice? They're now divorced. They were married. They were on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. They both spent time in prison for the exact same crime: falsifying documents, tax evasion, fraud. And by the way, I was sympathetic to Teresa Giudice. Like, I actually believed her when she said, I don't know what I'm signing. He just does it all. Like, I believed that. And they still sent her ass to prison. But for Hunter Biden, no, guys, he's being treated differently because
he's you know, crack is something that Americans should have sympathy for.
Was smoking crack. That's what the president is saying. My son had an addiction issue. He was smoking crack. Maybe that's what they should have said. The Giudices, the Chrisleys, maybe they should have been like, listen, I was doing these things while smoking crack. That's my new excuse I'm dropping forever. Like, I'm just going to be like, yeah, no, sorry. I was smoking crack.
Candace wildin', bro.
Giving about all the things that I'm not doing and supposed to do. Hear me out, IRS. I was smoking crack. So people are understandably outraged about this decision because also before he issued this extraordinary pardon, we were reliably informed by the mainstream media that the adults were back in charge. Oh, the Democrats, they're back in charge. No, this criminal's out of office. This Trump
crack is whack.
Guys out of here. The Bidens, oh, they're so wonderful, so moral, so highbrow. They would never pardon their son if he had done something wrong. Take a listen to this media montage of them reminding us.
Presidential promise to put the law before family.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers.
Was asked directly, and he has said he wouldn't pardon his son if he gets convicted.
Let's wait to see what happens if he loses.
Yeah, but he said it.
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son.
It takes new weight when we see what Trump is saying about the outcome of his trial, what we're hearing from other Republicans who say they don't accept the jury's verdict here in New York.
The contrast is profound. To sit there and say, well, I'm not going to intervene in the legal process and I wouldn't pardon my son. One side, Democrats and Joe Biden protecting the justice system. And on the other, Republicans and Trump protecting Trump.
Our current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. I mean, what... Yeah. You know, again, it's all about the contrast.
President Biden saying, I will respect whatever this jury decides.
That's
versus
right.
Donald Trump after he was convicted on 34 counts, saying the entire system is rigged against him.
Oopsies.
Aquarius said, crack-a-lackin'.
He pardoned him. And big time, by the way, because there's something here that most people are...
He pardoned him for like the past 10 years of him committing crimes. Yo!
Missing, and I want to make it perfectly clear. It is not the tax and gun charges that Hunter Biden is being pardoned for. That's just a smokescreen. That's just something to run to the press with, because Joe Biden, pay close attention here, rather curiously pardoned Hunter for all of the offenses that he, quote, has committed or may have committed or taken part in between January 1st, 2014 and December 1st, 2024. Whoa, 2014? 2014? Wait a minute. Now, if that tax crime took place in 2016 and that gun crime took place in 2018, why is Daddy Biden pardoning
Said the contrast
Hunter
being
dating
Trump
back
doesn't have...
years earlier, specifically January 1st,
crazy.
2014. What happened then? What were we doing then? Oh, I know. We were overthrowing a duly elected president in Ukraine. That's what I know. Ukraine. Back in 2014, Joe Biden was vice president. It was Obama's White House. And we staged a coup in Ukraine. We just overthrew a president, turned Ukraine into a laundromat for the West. We were just money laundering. They're making money. We funded, like this is always our move, we fund rebels to overthrow presidents. We're doing it right now in Syria. We arm them, we fund them. And this time in 2014, in February 2014 to be specific, we overthrew President Viktor Yanukovych and we installed a Western puppet president. And that is, by the way, part of the reason and the circumstance that has led to the situation in Russia today. Yes, on Putin's border, we staged a...
Sean Boyd said, yeah, how strange is that? Sugar Black said, thug life.
coup might be a little bit upsetting to him. I'm going to jog your memory about that before I explain to you the Hunter connection. Here is my buddy Dave Smith discussing what happened in Ukraine in 2014 with Joe Rogan.
Listen to your enemies. There's a reason why he hates us. And if you listen to Vladimir Putin and what he's saying, I mean, look, he's wrong for invading Ukraine. And I mean, you know me, Joe. I'm the most anti-war fucking person there is.
Oh, God, man. Idiots, man. They like to say bad words. I ain't about to listen to that.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know. And I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I'd abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Second one, would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Hey, let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Again, you've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
We now turn to a Fox News alert. President Biden is expected to issue a pardon for his son, Hunter.
Shocking.
Yes, Biden said on multiple occasions that he would not pardon his son, or he whispered it, or commute his sentence. The pardon comes ahead of Hunter's December 12th sentencing for his conviction on federal gun charges. Hunter is also set to be sentenced on tax evasion charges December 16th. None of that's going to happen.
President Biden will pardon his son, Hunter Biden.
This is crazy.
CNN Chief National Affairs Correspondent Jeff Zeleny, I believe, is with us. Jeff, can you hear me?
And Jessica, yes.
Okay, what are you learning?
Look, we are just getting a statement from President Joe Biden. He's saying that today he signed a pardon for my son, Hunter.
Subscribe to the channel. I'll be forgetting to tell y'all that. Subscribe to the channel. Stop playing on me. Thug Life. Subscribe to the channel. Like, double tap the screen. Hit the like button. All that. We getting all this information. It's coming in right now. Thug Life.
And he goes through the reasoning why. Of course, Hunter is facing a sentencing.
Listen to Sugar Black. She in the chat telling y'all what it is. Also, hit the notification bell so y'all can get notified on when these blogs drop. We got 107,701 subscribers. Appreciate y'all. But we ain't at 200,000 yet.
Later this month. But this is really a monumental moment for President Biden. He said several months ago in June, when he was still seeking a re-election, that he would not pardon Hunter Biden. But now we are learning he is. And let's just
we learning about all of this corruption that is going on. Thug Life. I will say this, like, the president has the ability to pardon. That's what the president has the ability to do. But a person like this, Hunter Biden, this unconditional pardon is ridiculous. It means if he has done anything illegal within the past 10 years, he cannot be brought up on charges for it. That is ridiculous. You know what I mean? And Biden's trying to say the only reason why they're bringing him up on charges because he said, because he my son. No, he is corrupt. That's what it is. And so people are like not feeling this right now. Like they like, yo, like you say one thing and you do the other. Y'all said Trump was going to be the person that we have to fear. And y'all are the ones giving Ukraine, allowing Ukraine to launch missiles into Russia. You saying that you're not going to end up pardoning this dude. And then you go ahead and you pardon this dude. Y'all be capping to the American people and we tired of it. Hit the like button, subscribe. Wait a minute.
through this statement quickly together. He said, today I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word, even as I watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. So this is a fairly long statement, about 4 or 5 paragraphs from President Biden.
And this is a pure case of classism going on in America. If you got a rich dad that's in a position of power, it don't matter how old you are, they will bail you out. You will never end up facing the same consequences that other people face. That is the problem that's going on. This dude did not file his taxes. He owed $1.4 million in taxes, and they ain't even locking him up. Let us do that. Let us owe $1.4 million. We'll see what they gonna do to us. You know what I mean? Like, he running around, he's smoking crack, he's speeding, going 123 miles an hour down the street, doing all these crazy things, but he could get away with it. You know what I'm saying?
Through why
snipe that person.
Decision. He also goes on to say this. He said, no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out because he is my son.
Wow.
And that is wrong.
Wow.
He goes on to say there's been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution.
I don't believe that.
So, of course, Jessica, let's take a step back. You obviously covered the Biden campaign along with me, and this is something that Hunter Biden has been dealing with. This was a tax case, a gun case. He went through his trial in Delaware. There was another.
Look, he's sitting up getting awards. Like, what is going on, bro? Do y'all see, like, everybody in the chat, tell me what y'all think. Shout out to Susie's Light. Shout out to you. What do y'all think about this? This is crazy. This is lunacy, insanity.
A case in Los Angeles. But this is really the culmination of President Biden really making the decision tonight to sign a pardon for his son Hunter, not just a commutation of a possible sentence, but a pardon, which certainly will be part of President Biden's legacy going forward.
Been doing what he wanted to do. I don't know why.
He said, "I'm the president." Y'all think I give a damn what y'all talking about?
Y'all want to know something? The fact that someone else is reading off his statement makes me believe that someone else wrote that and told him to say this on behalf of Joe Biden. Because last time,
that's crazy.
When they asked Joe Biden about it, he spoke about it on his own. You think he's too cognitively impaired to speak about it?
You know, he just didn't want to say it.
We've seen the first clip.
I think he's something wrong with him, and yet they still allowing him to be president. Like, what is this, bro? Like,
he didn't want to say it.
America's becoming a joke. Like, we should not be a joke. We're supposed to be the leader of the free world. We're supposed to be that country everybody looking at like, yo, America is the country we need to go to. We got people that can't even walk up the flight of steps, can't even debate, can't even like do interviews, answer questions, walk on sand. Like, we got a president that's got all of these different issues. Like, this is crazy. And he going back on what he said. He said he wasn't going to pardon his son, and he did it.
He's like, nah. Then he's like, Hunter, on the way out, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, this
He gonna end up telling him anyways.
This is probably the plan from the beginning.
I knew it was cap. I knew they was gonna pardon him, bro.
Oh, for sure.
What was on that laptop?
Bro, the fact that they denied it, then it came out, and they just never were honest about anything in the whole situation. I knew there was just no way he was not gonna not pardon his son.
So we finna see the actual case.
We got 71,000 views in here. Appreciate everybody for that. Hit the like button now. Go crazy on the like button. Go crazy on the emojis.
Him actually doing stuff with Ukraine. So
no,
that was the whole case about.
No, it was a whole bunch of stuff.
It was a whole bunch of stuff. It was
tax evasion.
It was guns, crack,
hookers,
tax money,
laptops.
It was the worst thing.
Yo, Hunter Biden about to be in all kind of rap music.
I thought I was dealing with him being on the board of Ukraine.
There's a whole bunch of stuff.
I thought they was trying to. I thought they was trying to hit their whole family with treason behind that.
Hey, that was a whole different situation. He had a gun charge, I think, in Maryland.
Yeah, facts.
You know you can't have no gun.
It's like
out
Delaware,
there.
I thought.
Yeah, you can't have no gun up there.
Some random
That's
place.
so crazy. He was toting it around. He said, "Man, I got the Chinese looking for me."
Ops.
For real.
If you toting a gun in the dirt, like in a state where you can't, you really got ops.
But hold on, though. I mean, look, man, it would have happened on either side. People were saying that in the comments. We got to be real. It probably would have. Anybody would do that for their son.
What would he? Oh,
Anybody would do that for their son. But what I'm just kind of confused about.
I would have stood on it the whole time.
It's just like, first off, what Joe Biden said.
Know.
What Joe Biden
Joe
said.
Biden could have just been like, I'm pardoning my son. Like, I don't care what y'all say. That would have been it. You know, don't lie and say you're not going to do it and then you do it. It's just like creating more lies. Like, your legacy is a legacy of lies. Donald Borman says, seriously, look at Diddy. It took him nearly unaliving Jamie Foxx for someone to finally say something.
It was crazy. Like, they just didn't go after a political opponent. One.
Yeah,
Two, and it just seemed like it's just like.
Bro, if Diddy was Biden's son, he would be pardoned.
A double standard, bro.
They just didn't want. He probably just was keep saying no, so people don't say right privilege.
They're gonna say that anyway.
No, he was saying no because he knew everybody's gonna fuss about it.
I mean, they said white privilege.
That's the fuss I'm gonna
They say
probably say.
white privilege for Trump. I mean, these people.
But this is a bad time to go live, so I appreciate all y'all that ended up watching the live. But I'm about to get up out of here. We got 72,000 views. Shout out to everybody. Amir, come rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Also, click the notification bell because we're going to end up going live later. You know what I mean? But I got to go do something and I'm coming back.